Everyone can take their seats. We're going to begin. And we're going to begin with a very special video tribute to Yaira that I think you'll find unique, and I hope that you'll enjoy. And we can begin that as soon as Aviv hits the button.
So, Yaira Eve Granoff was born on April 21st, 2003 in Columbia Hospital in New York City. What is Yaira's favorite activity? Avi, what is Yaira's favorite activity?
Reading.
That's right. And does she read in the living room?
Yes.
Does she read in her bedroom?
Yes.
Does she read in the car?
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed it. Just a little something I threw together this afternoon. If you may have noticed before, otherwise you'll notice now, that there are pictures scrolling. There are 1,182 pictures that I selected from the 100,000 plus that were taken of Yaira since she was born. And there will be a contest afterwards. People can vote for their favorite picture. So keep an eye on the screen all night and tell us what your favorite picture was. I'd like to now introduce a very special guest to speak about his brother, and that would be Yaira's youngest brother. That's right, Elon. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Yaira's brother, Elon. I have two brothers, but only one sister. Yaira is the best sister because she always helps me with my homework. And on Shabbat, she plays Playmobil and math titles with me. We are very similar. We love to play, and we both have curly hair. Last year, Yaira wrote a book, and last year I read one. I wish that I loved to read as much as Yaira does because reading makes her so happy. I am so lucky she's my sister. Mazal tov, Yaira. I love you, Yaira.
Great job. Avi will be the next person to pay tribute to his sister.
Hello, my name is Avi and I am Yaira's brother. I've lived with Yaira for 10 years and she is like no other. Instead of playing dolls all day, she plays sports such as soccer, hockey, football, swims, skis, and goes horseback riding. She's also there to help you leg up whenever you need it, getting onto a horse or over a fence. She's also a very good student. She's probably the second best in the family. I bet you know who the best is. Me, of course. I know that she likes me the least, and I know that for a fact because when I was little, Yaira was eating her favorite food, peanut butter covered pretzels, unaware I was allergic to peanuts. Then my great-grandma Molly said to my mom, "Your baby is turning blue." So I went to the hospital, and I was okay. I hope you'll play more sports and do more together now that your bat mitzvah is out of the way.
Rounding up the brothers, Rafi the Rooster.
Well, now that Avi took all the good stuff, there isn't a lot more for me to add. But I do want to say a few things about myself and Yaira. About Yaira. Yaira always helps me, whether it's math, computer programming, or Hebrew. For instance, when I forgot I had a math test the next day, Yaira got out of bed, came downstairs, and helped me learn the material I needed. When we go skiing, I love racing her down the mountain. Some of you may know I have a little obsession with aviation. It's nice that Yaira respects me, supports my love of planes. Why, just yesterday she offered me to put on an airplane headed anywhere in the whole year in the world for a whole year without her. Oh, of course on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner 10. Finally, I want to thank Yaira for having her bat mitzvah so that my buddies Andrew Stone and Ben Rosen can come visit us here. Mazel tov, Yaira. I really love you.
I don't know how I set this up, so I had to follow that. But I'll try my best for a couple minutes. So Tovit and Yaira and the boys and I feel so privileged to be part of two great communities, and we're so gratified to have the spiritual leaders of both communities here with us, Rabbi Seth Farber from Anana and Rabbi Kiva Block from Panoply in Englewood. Thank you so much for being here. Having our families and friends from both these communities and beyond all together has made this weekend even more special than we hoped. We're incredibly moved at the effort so many of you came to be here to celebrate with us. I've told a lot of people at the time and since that before Yaira was born, I thought that I wouldn't really get into the parenting thing until I could talk politics with them. But from the first moment she arrived, I realized how wrong I was and how completely overwhelmed with love I was for her, as was our entire extended family, and that's continued undiminished ever since. Yaira and I, as you may know, got to spend even more quality time together before she was 2 than we could have imagined, since Tovit spent the better part of 3 months in bed, much of that in the hospital, awaiting Avi and Rafi's arrival. And we have such special memories together, from ski trips and hockey games, theater, holidays in Toronto, Safta's 70th birthday safari. And at age 5, I think Yaira had to be one of the youngest people to go to President Obama's first inauguration. And I think we're still a little bit cold from that occasion. So it's obviously meaningful. It was meaningful when she discovered that in her parsha were the words, "And I proclaim liberty throughout the land and unto the inhabitants thereof," that were in Parshat Bahar that she lamed so beautifully yesterday. That the same words that are inscribed on the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia that her Safta took her to visit just a couple of years ago. Yaira has distinguished herself in soccer, in floor hockey, especially as a goalie, and has even run a few races already. On an ordinary afternoon, as Avi mentioned, even in our very downsized backyard here in Israel, she can be found joyfully playing soccer or catch with one of her brothers. And when there's a new board game, within minutes of opening the box and reviewing instructions, Yaira is eagerly explaining to her brothers and to me how to play the game. Excuse me for one moment. She has a fast and unexpected sense of humor. When I was extolling the virtue of the iPhone's Siri voice dictation, she snapped back, "Oh yeah, why don't you ask it to remind Chana to make challah for the Chag?" Last summer, when Joseph Gittler, who's here, was shepherding about 42 kids from here to Toronto to go to camp, the security agent asked Yaira if she was traveling as an unaccompanied minor. She said, "I'm traveling as a barely accompanied minor." Yaira's interest and fascination with the world around her has manifested itself in many ways, such as starting her own weekly NFL picks at age 3 and memorizing all the U.S. presidents. But it's been most manifest, of course, in her legendary and obsessive reading. And it isn't just that she constantly reads and that she equally enjoys reading things that most 11, 12-year-old girls like reading and things that I enjoy reading, but it's also that she retains what she reads. One teacher once called Yaira a fact fountain, and if you doubt it, ask her what's unique about the swimming pool at Yale University, which once came up in conversation and she had something to contribute. How much does she love to read? Well, here's a metric that only Rafi could have dug up. When Yaira was born, Amazon was trading at about $29 a share, and it barely budged for about 6 years until she fully mastered the art of reading and began her relentless trek through every book on Amazon. Today, Amazon trades at about $425 a share. And I'm pleased to tell you, on a serious note, that in honor of her bat mitzvah, Yaira made the decision to donate over 100 books for ages 8 through 12, mystery, adventure, fantasy, and even princesses, even though that's not her thing, to the Ahava Youth Village in Kiryat Bialik, where she'll personally go to deliver the books next week. A lot has changed over the years. For example, a few years ago, Yaira wore glasses and I didn't. But Yaira's ability to have fun, her kindness, her sensitivity, always prominent, even sometimes beneath her shyness, has been a constant, as is her love for her near and extended family and the love they have for her. Of course, I need to thank a lot of people, and I have to tell you that the friends in Israel here have been so nice to us these last few weeks. They've even stopped trying to forge our signature on the lease for the Mapu house for next year. So I thank you for taking a break from that activity. I want to first thank Avi, Rafi, and Elon for almost always being the best little brothers that Yaira could have, and for allowing her to have the spotlight to herself this weekend. I also want to thank our parents who have been incredibly loving and supportive to us, even as we took our grandchildren to a different continent. And nothing gives us more satisfaction than the degree to which the kids love all four of you and how much they love talking to you by phone, email, text, FaceTime about all their accomplishments, and they anticipate every opportunity that they have to see you. I want to thank our family that came from far away, and Eileen and her family from Boston, and Lior and her family from California, and Frida who came from Brooklyn, and Rabbi Block, as I mentioned, also in the Kesher, New Jersey delegation, Michelle and Andrew, Yael, Bonnie, Jocelyn, and also from New Jersey, Dan Cohen, and of course Alan L. Levine, who we're so thrilled to have with us, as Yaira sometimes refers to her 5th and 6th grandparents. And also, we want to thank the so-called Old Rosens for coming in from White Plains, and the Goodman family that came on mass from Montreal, as they never miss a Simcha, and we're so thrilled that they came. Lane, you came from Toronto, and yesterday on Shabbat, Dovit's family's friend Judy Shamian, who's really wonderful, came especially to hear Yaira Lane. Next, I want to give a huge thank you, of course, to our multi-talented friend and neighbor, my running buddy and writing buddy, Michael Rosen, not just for teaching Yaira Lane the Parsha perfectly, but also for giving her the confidence to be able to do as beautiful a job as she did yesterday. And you should know that he not only taught her most Tuesday nights over the last number of months, but sometimes he was traveling, and sometimes she was traveling, and they did it by FaceTime from Thailand, San Diego, Philadelphia, Washington. Michael, you did an amazing job. Can't thank you enough. And finally, a thank you just from me. The spotlight is, of course, on our beautiful daughter Yaira. But I have to point out what all of you already know, which is that the person most responsible for making this such a wonderful party and a beautiful weekend is the person who's responsible for doing that for the entire lives of the 6 of us, which is, of course, my beautiful wife, Tovi. Someone here, not me, but somebody who's qualified to make this observation, said a few months ago that Tovi was the most competent person that he knew. I, of course, concur, except for just the small items, a few small items like her phone, her purse, her car keys, but that's not the point. But competence is, of course, just a fraction of the attributes that makes Tovi such a beloved daughter, sister, aunt, mother, wife, and of course PTA chairperson. With each passing year, I wonder more at the luck that I have to get to go through life with her, and thank Hashem for bringing us together. In a moment, we're going to hear directly from Yaira for a few minutes, but before we do, I thought we would review some highlights. As you know, Yaira has many talents. She's been a skier, a sports analyst, a political prognosticator, and much more in just her first 12 years. We've compressed it all into 4 minutes, and if Aviv can roll video number 2, you can appreciate all of those exciting moments.